Talk. You are now listening to The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kahlil on the One Podcast Network. Let's get it.
From NJ to BK in the world, it's The Box Out here on the One Podcast Network. My name is Kahlil Thomas. Joining me in a few minutes will be Jason Kahlil from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you so much for watching. We tried to do the show on Sunday, as announced on Bruce's show. My daughter got strep on Sunday, and I apparently had a lightning bolt go down the back of my neck all the way down to my ass yesterday. So, show couldn't happen on Sunday like planned, but we're here tonight, a couple days for Thanksgiving. Thank you for giving me some time, giving us your time and your patronage, if you will. And we will start tonight's show like we always do, our opening tip. And, you know, we announced last week, and I think Bruce actually helped us out. I think the day we did a show last month, Bruce told us right before we went off air, Bruce Merrow, armchairing Wednesday nights here on the One Podcast Network, that the WNBA and the Player Association came to a 30-day extension on their CBA negotiations. The contract is supposed to, the negotiating window is supposed to be up on October 31st. Negotiating and CBA expired last month, and they came to an extension. With the idea being, and I always assume that when extensions are given out for collective bargaining sessions and negotiations, there's an agreement close to fruition, and that they're just a couple of pieces short, and they would get an agreement quickly. We are literally 5 days from the expiration of the extension, and we still got nothing. According to Associated Press last week, the WNBA gave a new offer to the Player Association. Latest collective bargaining proposal would include revenue sharing with a maximum salary of more than $1.1 million available to more than one player per team. The minimum salary will go up to $220,000, with the average being more $460,000 per year for a player. So we're looking at the top salary being $1.1 million, which is not where it is now, and we're looking at the minimum will be $220,000, but the salary average will be about $460,000, which is a huge improvement from where they are normally and where they have been in the 27 plus years of the existence of the WNBA. So, in my head, sounded like a good thing. I was okay, cool. Players came back and said, nope, we're good. It's funny because, and I want to read the whole story because of the reactions from the players. Because the players just seemed real, they were not feeling this offer. The league previously said in a statement that it proposed significant guaranteed salary cap increases and substantial uncapped revenue sharing that enables player salaries to grow as the league's business grows. The union responded in a statement that said the proposal, quote, put lipstick on a pig and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. So, based on this quote from the Player Association, they're not close still. I think there's two ways of thinking, I think, right now, and I think the players and the league are way off right now about they're far apart regarding the end game. I think the owners, the league, they're looking at it as a nickel and dime type situation. You guys want to make more money. Here, we're going to raise salaries. We're going to give top players $1 million a year. We're going to make the minimum $220,000, and everyone should be happy. The players are looking at it from we want to make more money. True. But we want a piece of the league revenue. So it's not so much about the salary, what they get per year, per season. They want to get a piece of what the league is making. Now, they're looking at the new TV contracts, the media rights deals with ESPN, NBC, ION, I'm missing another network, Prime. they're looking at those deals. They're looking at the expansion fees for these new teams that are about $350 million, give or take, for each new team. They have a few teams coming in over the next couple of years. So they see all this money coming in, and the players are like, well, the NBA model and the NFL model and the NHL model is that the players get a percentage of the revenue from the league, right? Which makes sense. It's basketball related income is what they call it in NBA, and I think it's like 50-50 or 51-49 in favor of the players at one point. The NFL always seems to be like 52-48 in favor of the players. What makes the WNBA so confusing, I think I said this a few weeks ago, was the league is not wholly owned by the league itself, right? The breakdown I gave was it was 42% NBA, 42% WNBA, and then 16% of the league is owned by private investors that kind of injected some funds into the league a couple years ago. So we're in a situation where the league is not making all the money themselves. The league is kind of taking not even half the money. They're taking 42% of the money while seeing the other, 58% going out the window and going out the door. So the owners are kind of freaking out because they're like, we're not even getting half of the revenue that this league is going to make. It's all being siphoned off. Think of you going to a casino. Actually, perfect example, because I watched this movie the other night, Rounders with Matt Damon, right? Matt Damon wins all this money from KGB. Final scene, he's victorious and he wins. And the first person that comes over to take his share is Grandma. And Grandma's like, nope, we'll take that. And he takes what he is owed from Worm off the top. That's kind of what happens to the WNBA, right? WNBA's Matt Damon. They win all this money. And then here comes those private investors. And here's the NBA to take their cut. And then whatever's left belongs to the WNBA, which seems like a lot based on the money that's coming in. We're talking about $1 billion media rights deals, and we're talking about $300 million per new expansion franchise. And we got 3 new ones coming in a couple years. We got Toronto starting next year. We got Portland starting next year. There's a lot of money flowing through, but once again, the league is not seeing all of that money. It's being taken away by Grandma as soon as they win it at the poker table. So I think we're looking at a situation where I'm not sure by November 30th this is going to be solved. And the end game is going to be a work stoppage. A work stoppage is bound to happen unless something miraculous happens in the next 96 hours to stop this from happening. I don't foresee the WNBA and the players coming to an agreement so fast, so quickly. Let's say in 4 days. It's been months. All right, think back to their All-Star weekend back over the summer. They had a negotiation session and it did not go well. And according to these reports, it's still not going well. And the problem with this is too, and I think the current CBA that is expiring, it had kind of a trigger where players would get a direct payment if certain targets were hit. If certain targets were hit business-wise for the league. Those targets were never hit. You know why? I hate to say it because it's been a couple years. COVID. COVID killed it because the CBA was signed, I think it's 2019. COVID happened in 2020. The business suffered in 2020 because there were no games. There were games, but it was in the wobble. So it was in front of no fans. You still had to pay the players. So you lost ticket sales. You lost TV rights because everything was kind of shown on ESPN. So you lost the local business and you lost whatever sales you got from those local markets. So the targets that they set up have not been hit because of situations and circumstances beyond their control. A goddamn global pandemic. So they're not going to hit those targets. I think the league is like, well, we put this in the last CBA. You can hit it. And they're like, well, we didn't hit it before. What if another pandemic hits and we don't get it again? So I don't foresee this being solved very quickly. I'm hoping it does because I really want them to not have a work stoppage. It's the last thing you want to see in a league that actually has a lot of momentum right now. And a work stoppage, whether it be a lockout, whether it be a strike, is the last thing you want to see from the WNBA right now. Quick 30-second break, right back, and we'll go right into the NBA. Some drama in Phoenix, Valley of the Sun, coming up right now in 30 seconds. Right back. And we are back here on the Box Out. Kahlil Thomas here with you on a Tuesday night before Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for watching, whether it be live or whether it be on our replay. Maybe you're watching us while you're eating Thanksgiving turkey. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully not too dry. If it's too dry, put some hot sauce, some French red hot. Put that shit on it. Make it pop. Or gravy if you have gravy at your house. The gravy works well with the stuffing and the turkey, but if you don't have gravy, French red hots. Just let you know, little tip. In other news, and listen, I'm a sports business person. I'm a huge sports business person. I love learning about the ins and outs of how. This couple of years, something very interesting has been happening in Phoenix, where you had Robert Sarver. Pretty much it's made to sell the team to Matt Ishbia, who first time I saw Matt Ishbia was on Real Sports. He was a walk-on at Michigan State under Tom Izzo. Izzo loves him. Ishbia ended up making billions of dollars with, I think, home insurance or home loans or whatever the hell's going on. And he ends up buying the Phoenix Suns. And it seemed great. And then he actually took the team over, and all hell broke loose. As I welcome in Jason Cordner. What's up, bro?
Yep, you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. You good? No. Gotta love technology.
There we go.
You hear me now? Yep.
Yes.
All right.
I was having little audio issues earlier. Funny enough, before we continue real quick, I was having audio issues after watching USC beat Seton Hall in the Maui quarterfinal game, which was a horrible rule in college basketball. I didn't realize you have one challenge, and if you use it that one time is unsuccessful, you don't have it again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you watched the game, but pretty much that's how they lost. It was down to one possession. The refs gave the ball to UFC when it was clearly off of them, but they couldn't challenge because of that rule. So I'm actually watching college basketball in November.
Seton Hall, now 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was really hyped up because we're big Seton Hall fans, and he's like 6-0. We beat NC State. I'm like, yeah, but before NC State, we play like Wagner and Monmouth and like the Canisius and teams that don't really matter. So let's pump the brakes on Seton Hall. But I started watching the game and I got sidetracked getting ready for tonight. So they looked okay early.
Okay.
I feel pretty good. I'm gonna go back because I was talking about Matt Ishbia and Phoenix real quick. But I talked about WNBA the first 10 minutes. The new proposal from the league: 1.1 million max salary, and 220,000 minimum salary. Average salary going to be about 460. Players said, "Nope, we're good."
Wow.
The extension deadline is November 30th. Are we looking at a work stoppage?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Because I'm not saying these are great offers, but compared to what they're making now, that's a step in the right direction. But for the players to shun it so quickly, they have a figure in mind that they're not letting everybody know yet.
Well, I was saying, I don't think it's so much the figure. I think the owners are resistant to doing the basketball-related income split with them because of, like we said, how the financials are in the WNBA. and how WNBA doesn't see all their money.
Yep.
They don't want to give up their little 42% too much. But the players right now our cut's 9%. That's chump change for what's really happening. So, and then a salary cap of $1.5 million per team is insane for a professional sport. So unless something crazy happens in the next 72, 96 hours, I think we're looking at, I don't know if it's a lockout or a strike. I don't know who's going to take this over, but I don't see this getting any better.
Yeah. Well, at least they got their draft lottery out the way. But that's probably the only action we're going to see for quite some time.
Oh, no, nothing's happening. I mean, I'm hoping everybody goes home for Thanksgiving, start to feel thankful, and, Nafisa Collier, calls up Kathy and goes, "Hey,
that's not happening.
Let's talk, Kathy. Come on, Kathy. Come on, Kathy." And she's like, "Okay, all right, Nafisa," and they start talking. But that's probably not happening. To our next story. So Matt Ishbia buys the Phoenix Suns from racist, sexist, cheat Robert Sarver, and immediately starts spending money against Kevin Durant, brings in Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
They still suck. They trade Kevin Durant. They get rid of Bradley Beal to keep Booker. Okay season so far. Now you have the two minority owners of Phoenix who stayed on after Sarver's sale is suing Ishbia over mismanagement and calling it his personal piggy bank.
Oh.
Have we seen this before? I don't remember seeing minority owners suing the controlling partner of a team.
No, usually minority owners are they're silent investors. You rarely hear anything about them. The only loud minority owners I can think of is probably Bill Murray and Jay-Z.
Yeah, really. Was Jay-Z really an owner though? Was Jay-Z really an owner?
Maybe a percent of a percent.
Yeah, 0.00001. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm an owner." The allegations in the filing say that HBO extended a loan to the Suns at an interest rate far above market, that he sold the naming rights to the Suns Arena to his mortgage company without disclosing details to the partners, that he leased the Phoenix Mercury's practice facility from himself at undisclosed rates, and that he established a new entity called the Player 15 Group that they say appears to hold assets that rightfully belong to the Suns. They also say that HBO tried to dilute their shares if they couldn't do a capital raise in a 10-day deadline, meaning if your owner, the majority owner might say, "Hey, we need some more money. We need this much right now," and you're obligated as an owner of a team to give that money up. And HBO is like, either you give me that money or your shares is diluted down to nothing, kind of like Facebook style.
Damn. Sounds like a lot of snitching going on over there.
But here's the thing, though. I feel and they say he spends a lot of money and blah blah blah, and the money he's spending is on the team. And I think we've talked about this before. He's kind of spit on the team like he's fucking nuts. To no avail because they suck. Do you see this case going anywhere, or is this just a matter of two minority owners who own less than 50% pissed that they own less than 50%?
I think this is a money grab. They're going to get probably compensated for even, it's going to settle out of court. They're going to get some money, but I can see their gripe. I mean, if majority ownership is just spending money foolishly out here and not really, well, actually the team got better since they got rid of KD. I thought the parts they got for KD were good, and if you're going to keep Booker, you're going to build around Booker. So,
but did they try that before and it didn't work? I
mean, look at the Nets. You got to keep, trying.
Look at the Nets. It's the worst example possible. Look at the Nets. Exactly. What they're doing right now in Brooklyn.
I think Washington's ahead of them in terms of the rebuilding process. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to start in Brooklyn because there's a lot there to talk about with Brooklyn. I mean, it's rich people arguing about rich people shit. That's essentially what it is. He owns a team, he can do what he wants, and if it comes out in the NBA, based on their investigation, still Steve Ballmer, they're not doing a good job.
Well, I was about to say that. I was like, well, this kind of sounds like Steve Ballmer, where these owners are going to do what they're going to do. It's their playpen.
Yeah, and once again, and I say this all. You're a minority owner. No one cares about you.
Who cares?
You're there just in case. You're there to have access to the locker room and sit courtside, and that's all you're there for. You're pretty.
Performance for purposes.
Exactly. You're there to look pretty. I own. I said if I ever win Powerball, the first thing I'm doing is buying like a minor league baseball team because they're like really cheap. And that's it. I own a team. I ain't gonna do shit. I ain't gonna do no work. I ain't gonna go out there and scout. I'm not gonna go out there and like. I might go out there and meet the players and let's go. But I own a team.
Will Uncle Steve sell me the Brooklyn Cyclones?
That'd be a nice investment.
Mm.
Do they own? No, they probably don't own the Brooklyn women's soccer team that plays there too, right?
Probably don't. Probably don't.
Probably not. If I buy the Cyclones, I will make you a minority partner.
Let's do it.
I'll put you in the paperwork. I'll put you in LLC. Jason Court and a part of this too.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I got you. The other big news this week: Chris Paul announced that he will be retiring at the end of the season. So we got another retirement tour. Great. I think it's the simple question: what do you take away from Chris Paul's career?
Solid leader. Single-handedly changed the culture with the Clippers. When I look at the Clippers, I think of Chris Paul, kind of like how I think of Jason Kidd with the Nets. But only Chris Paul did it for a longer duration. So him going back to the Clippers now, it's perfect timing to announce a retirement tour. But I'll always think of him as a constant pro point guard. Like I think of in my lifetime after Stockton, then you go down Iverson. But as a pure point guard, it's probably him and Stockton, no? Kidd too, but Kidd,
yeah.
Yeah, I had Kidd at that.
Because Kidd, I mean, I feel like Kidd was passed first. I think Kidd shot more, especially when he's with New Jersey because he kind of had to. But Kidd, Stockton, Chris Paul, I think you could kind of put them in the same lane.
Yeah.
12-time All-Star, 9-time All-Defensive Team, 11-time All-NBA Player, Rookie of the Year, All-Star Game MVP. But what is missing on this list, you say? An NBA championship.
So close against the Bucks. So close.
But here's the thing. And I know he's with Houston, and Houston, that run with him and Harden. Do you hold that against him that he hasn't won? Because it seemed like, he was hurt and he couldn't play, or he would choke in big games, especially with the Clippers. Does that kind of hurt his legacy a little bit that he could not win the big games?
I want to say no because of the dynasties or subpar dynasties we had in his career. He came off the hand. He came in around the Heatles. He came in when the Warriors were dominant. He came in when that Warriors Cavs things was taking up most of the championship talk. He had his opportunity, kind of like how Patrick Ewing had his opportunity in '94, just didn't get it done. So I won't hold it against him. Had he not played in the finals, I might have been like, well, he never made it to a finals, but at least he did that.
I will hold it against him. I'm sorry, you don't
really.
Because you know what it is.
And he played for the Clippers. He played for the Clippers.
Yeah, but same thing with James Harden. I feel like Chris Paul did not show up in big games. Chris Paul did not elevate the team to get to that next point. When the ball was in his hands, that we need a Chris Paul performance that's going to transcend the franchise and push us forward. We never got it. Or he was hurt.
I mean, I could see that, but I look at his Oklahoma City run and what he did to that team, where everybody thought he was going there to be purgatory, and he turned that situation into Major League Baseball, the movie.
He really did. So Chris Paul was Jake Taylor?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That might be the best analogy we've ever had in the show.
There you go.
Chris Paul was old Jake Taylor.
He's a cultural needle mover.
I mean, I think Chris Paul all around. Mm-hmm. I think his footprint's gonna be in the NBA for a while, and just
for sure.
But I feel like him not playing well in big games is going to kill. He's gonna get in the Hall of Fame, no doubt in my mind. But I think that's gonna kind of kill the aura of Chris Paul that he wasn't able to get over that hump, and when that one elusive championship. On Bruce's show last week, he talked about Steve Kerr saying that with all the big injuries, Giannis is out. Obviously, we had Tatum out. We got Halliburton out for the year. It seems like a lot of guys are hurt. Shortening the season might be necessary at this point. 82 games ain't doing it. It's too close. All the games are too close together. You got to be back. There's still a lot of back-to-backs, even though the NBA is trying not to do back-to-backs. What are the odds that this actually happens? Because it's been a conversation for a while now.
I doubt it's going to happen, only because of all the money, all the networks. Like, I have a hard time, I'm pretty sure you do too, keeping up on all the games on all the channels, like NBC, Prime, ESPN. Sometimes for nostalgia reason, I turn back to Turner, and there's no basketball, but only college. But I digress.
Like Big 12 football, but shit, damn.
But I just think because of the money, then it's never going back. I don't understand why we have back-to-backs in November, December. Like, at this point, like, what are we doing here? Or why are the cup games on a Tuesday and a Friday? But then you're playing your conference, you're playing in division or whatever in your bracket, and then the next day you're playing somewhere. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, sidebar. Third year of the NBA Cup, I still don't give a shit.
Oh, early prediction. Oh, early hot take. I think Toronto's winning the cup, but I digress.
I don't care. I don't care.
I only liked it when LeBron cared because he was like, I have to have the first of everything.
I gotta have that banner. I gotta put that up.
And they put a banner up.
I'm still trying to get into it. I know it's year 3, and they're like, yeah, it's cool.
Oh, you just made me realize the Liberty Championship banner is not close to the Governor's Cup banner, Commissioner Cup banner.
Nor should it be. Nor should it be.
Nor should it be.
It should be next to the Division Championship banner. That's the level of the Commissioner's Cup and the NBA Cup. It's your Atlantic Division Championship banner that's up in the rafters right now.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. That's like winning the NFC East. I don't see it as a big deal, but I want to like it because it's something new and they're trying to do it because they have soccer as a Champions League and you want to do something like that. But it just I don't care. I mean, you're looking at the score and the score kind of matters still because that point differential shit is still a thing. And I feel like a lot of teams aren't really playing hard. It looks like they are, but they're not. They're like,
I think the way they should have handled this whole cup thing is it should have been preseason. Make it be like,
yeah.
Preseason. What do we call it? NIT? One of those like little tournaments.
The NIT, like the Maui Invitational.
Exactly.
It's like same shit. Which I forgot they took off the EA Sports name of that.
Yeah.
It's been the EA Sports Maui, and I'm like, oh shit, it's not. I forgot they already because they didn't want to pay EA for it.
I can't believe I was watching that before I came on the air. I can't believe it.
Well, Chaminade, I think Chaminade won last night. I'm like, Chaminade? That's still a school? Oh my god, that's a little thing. But yeah, I'm trying to watch. I know the games are on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care. I'm trying to care about the NBA Cup, and I get it. It's something extra to look forward to, and this is all marketing for the NBA, and I don't give a shit.
And I like how they always say it's for the young teams to win, but the first two are older teams. Go figure. Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. And Toronto should win something. I feel Toronto seems like they're on the upturn, but I feel like they're missing something. I feel like Quickly's not working there. I forgot that RJ was still there because they played the Nets. They played the Nets the other night, and I was watching, and I was like, "Oh shit, RJ Barrett! I forgot about him." It's just like Scotty Barnes. I'm waiting for Brandon Ingram to have a meltdown and hate being cold or some shit and freak out. It's just like, I don't care.
Do you think they fired the GM a little too soon?
Yes.
Because clearly his fruits of his labor are paying off.
Well, because Masai had these real, like, grandiose plans. And it worked once. Give him credit. He got a title out of it. But I feel like his plans were too big for where he was president of. President of the Toronto Raptors. Like, it's not a destination. I'm sorry. Unless you're playing for the Maple Leafs, and even that's kind of questionable.
Florida Marlins of NBA.
Yeah, unless you play with Maple Leafs, and that's questionable. Nobody wants to go to Toronto. You're not going to get a free agent to go to Toronto to play basketball.
I had no idea the Maple Leafs are the number one valued franchise in NHL.
Well,
and they haven't won anything in God knows how long.
You know what it is? I don't think it's so much them. I think it's Rogers who owns them. Rogers owns them. Maple Leafs, Raptors,
Blue Jays,
and the Rogers Center, Sky Dome.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's so much the Maple Leafs. I think it's just Rogers in general, just owning the arena they're playing in, the teams, the Sky Dome.
Ted Turner of the North.
Exactly. So I think that's more of like the Rogers thing, not supposed. And the Maple Leafs. We're talking about hockey. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Dog days in November.
First time ever in this podcast, we just shifted to hockey for like 30 seconds. Holy shit. No, I'm curious to see what changes they make next year, because I do feel like there is a general apathy towards the NBA Cup, where people are like no one's. I don't think anybody's watching NBC like, oh, really, we'll watch this East Group B matchup between the Magic and the Sixers tonight. That group B in the East is killing it right now. Like, no one's saying that.
Yeah, like you said, everybody's taking that. You guys go to Vegas, we'll sit this one out.
Listen, but then the schedule is all screwed up, because then it's like, oh, the teams that aren't in Vegas, we got to figure out games for them and just patch in random ass games. I'm like, what are we doing? Because now you're fucking the schedule up again.
Another reason why I think the Knicks will be fine, because I think they're going to be done with Orlando and Miami within the next week.
They better be good, I swear to God. Speaking of the Knicks, let's talk about the Knicks. A lot of hype going into the season.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying NBA championship or bust. We're looking at a 10-6 team with some flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the hype train took off of the station way too fast for the Knicks this year?
No, I think the Knicks are playing just like a Forza Horizon. They're slowly getting the legs up under them. It's going to take them some time. I didn't expect them to really gel till January. Kind of like how this is what they always do. They always start off the gate slow, and they still manage to be a 50-win team. They'll be fine. The East is not that deep, but I do wonder, how they stack up against the youth of the East in terms of the Torontos, the Orlandos, the Denvers. I think they're fine against the Boston and Cleveland, but those three teams I mentioned, that's what I'm a little worried about, how they stack up against those guys.
Yeah, I'm of the mind where you beat the Nets twice.
Mm-hmm.
The schedule is kind of like weak early on, but then you hit Miami early, and I think those games really kind of showed like, all right, what the flaws were and where the warts are. I think the next, I'm gonna say 3 weeks is gonna say a lot about this team. I think Josh Hart kind of went off the other night when he lost that game to Orlando and kind of said what he needed to say. Mm-hmm. I think the net game last night was a get right game for them, because they let's just blow them out. Let's just get this over with. Work these kinks out against this team who we can smoke, even though they only won by 13, which I was like, yeah.
Right.
I think the next 3 weeks in the schedule is going to show me, especially I'm going for Christmas, because they're playing on Christmas Day again. Yeah. I think from now to Christmas is going to be that line to see the gelling. I feel like you're starting to see it a little bit. I still don't think Cat's kind of all in with the offense. He's still shooting way too many jump shots, way too many threes. I think Josh Hart is gun shy a little bit all of a sudden. I don't think he's kind of hesitant to shoot, even though we don't want Josh Hart shooting too much.
Right, so I'm not really upset about that.
But if it's there, you take it.
Plays, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're there, you take it. I don't think Jordan Clarkson's played his best ball. I don't think Yabusele played his best ball. I think Tyler Kolek is on the verge of being like, all right, we can give him 20 minutes and feel comfortable about giving him 20 minutes and not just, oh, we got to get Tyler out there. Jalen needs a break. I think there's a lot of things that have to be kind of fixed. I do like the fact that Mike Brown's like, I'm playing his bench, because I'm not going to do what Tibbs did and run these guys to the ground, because that's the last thing you want to do is kill these guys. So I think there's just a lot happening with this team. So I have a buddy of mine who's like jumping off a bridge. I'm like, it's too early for that.
It's way too early for that. And they are playing the East, where there's no juggernauts in front of them.
Well, no, in the East, I mean, I think the West is a little more like you have your Denvers, you have your OKCs, and I think those are your top two. In the East, I don't know who would be your top two. I feel like it changes night to night. Because one night the Knicks
going to have an idea. It's going to have an idea.
Well, I mean, You have the Knicks. You got Orlando. You got
Right.
Detroit. Detroit. I don't know about Detroit yet, and here's why. I know people might. Oh, they won 13 in a row. Yes,
Cupcake schedule, by the way.
exactly. They haven't really played anyone these last 13 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think they won a couple of tough games, but for the most part, it's been like a really rough, easy schedule for them. But you have Detroit, you got Toronto, you got Miami, Cleveland, Knicks, Hawks. That's your top 6, followed by the Sixers, Orlando, Chicago, Boston. That's your top 10. I don't think Embiid's still right. I think you haven't seen the best of Embiid. So you put a healthy Embiid with Maxey and with EJ Edgecombe, I think they move up. I think Detroit kind of falls down a little bit and kind of comes back down to earth. I don't think Toronto's a good 13-5. I think they'll fall. Miami's going to move up and move down. I think Miami's going to shift up and down. Cleveland, same thing. Atlanta, I don't see this working. I think Atlanta's a play-in team. They're 7 or 8 tops. I just there's way too many moving parts in the East as opposed to the West.
I agree. Still, like I said, it's still early. We're only maybe a quarter into the schedule.
Yeah, like I said, I think Christmas
only 16 games for the Knicks.
Yeah, so I said up to and including the Christmas Day game. I think that will tell you where they are. Hopefully, I think.
But again, I do like that they're playing the Miamis and Orlando's early, getting them out the way, and we can take care of the rest of the conference.
That's right. More Minnesota. Let's go. Let's get Minnesota for the schedule. They stink. So it's been about a month since the season started. Your thoughts on the NBA and NBC?
I like it. Actually, I love the theme song. I think McGrady's gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Vince has been a constant. I think it's been good. I think in terms of a studio show, I think Prime is ahead of them.
You know what? I have not seen Prime yet. I've seen clips, but I've not seen a Prime game yet because it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Raw. It's hard for me to turn on the TV, then turn on Prime, and then turn to the game. Like I was going to turn the TV on and go. That's where I'm at with the Prime stuff. But I heard Blake Griffin's killing it, especially with the John Morant thing a couple weeks ago. He was like up front and honest, like, "Yeah, John needs to get shit together." I do think inside the NBA not being on weekly is killing them right now. Mm-hmm. I feel like ESPN's like, well, we don't want to overdo it, but that's
just weird because now you're talking about now they offered Kenny a more peripheral role on the network, which is like. So now you're overworking him, but not the rest of them. I don't get that.
Well, no, Barkley pops up occasionally. Shaq's never on ESPN.
Shaq was like, "Yo, I'm. It's not what I'm here. I want the Troy Aikman treatment. You get me once a week."
I mean, why you're licensing the product anyway? Why not just do it every week?
Yeah.
And then they introduce the new NBA countdown. Nobody wants the NBA countdown. Nobody wants to see your bullshit. Fugazi pregame show. Like we want to see inside the NBA. So just stop bullshitting and put them on.
I know they should have held out and went to NBC.
Yeah, but NBC sucks because even like the late game tonight is on Peacock, so no one's gonna watch it on Peacock. Like, I think the first week was the doubleheader on NBC, and I think now they're gonna be like, all right, first game on NBC, second game go to Peacock, and like no one's gonna go to Peacock to watch this game.
See, and as much as I hate Disney and ESPN, they wouldn't have done that.
No, they're like both games on ESPN, but you put a game on regular TV. This is what you get.
Yeah,
you took on a Tuesday, nonetheless. That's my problem. No, I think Carmelo's growing on me in the studio. I think Maria Taylor's like trying to like pull it out and it's like, come on, and he's like. And you see it a little bit, but then like Vince kind of takes over a little bit in the studio, and Jamal Crawford's good. I didn't realize Jamal Crawford's that good.
They was grooming him on TNT, so yeah, he was gonna be good. I think Melo's problem is he thinks it's a podcast. He treats it like a podcast, like the same way he's on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn.
I know.
The same way.
It's 7 p.m., bro. Come on, this ain't it. Your thoughts on? I was curious because I felt you're like a traditionalist. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the Peacock games on Monday having the color analysts on the benches?
It's a little different.
Do you like it? That's my question.
I don't like it.
I knew you wouldn't like it.
I don't like it.
It's weird because like they're like Noah Eagles like at the table, and then they're both like over on each
Over the benches,
opposing
yes.
benches, just talking, and then like they start talking over each other, and
Yep.
Noah's trying to like traffic control, but like I don't who's talking and like, where are you? Because it's not a good look. I'm not a fan.
I think that's something that they'll adjust.
They better, I swear to God. Final topic of the night, college basketball. Like you said, you watched Seton Hall lose to USC. Are there too many early season tournaments? Because I feel like there's like 18 on this week, and I can't keep up.
I would say yes, because I had no idea that Maui would be on a Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I thought this was like a Thanksgiving thing where it started on Thanksgiving and it ended that weekend. I didn't know we started this from like Monday. But yeah,
I think it used to be Thanksgiving weekend, and I think they pushed it back so everybody can, like, I guess, get back home or whatever. But then I think Maui was on. There was something in Fort Myers, Florida. Something in Vegas.
There was something at the Garden not too long ago.
The Bahamas. The Atlantis one I think starts this weekend. The Battle for Atlantis starts.
Oh my goodness.
The Charleston one. There's one in Myrtle Beach, I think, too. I think I saw that. I'm missing another one.
I will definitely say this way too much, but for some reason, here's because we don't really tune in until January until this conference play. However, because of the league, I want to say the league's been, and others has been hyping up the generational talent in the draft coming up. I think a lot of people are wanting to get a quick eyeballs in and see, check out the Boozer twin, check out, I think you get a lot of passive eyes on the product right now, but they're playing in these tournaments that really don't mean anything. So you really can't really tell how good the team is. You can tell how good the individual is, but not the team.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so many of them, and then it's like you have one marquee name, one marquee team in the tournament, and then you have a bunch of like mid majors lurking, and you and I are hoping for that mid major to beat that big team,
right?
Which never happens. Occasionally happens. Like Shamanan won last night, but they beat like Washington State, so it's not really a big deal. But it's whatever. But I think it's just an excuse for these teams. Like, well, we can get $50,000 to go to Bahamas. It's like, all right, let's go. And then your boosters or alumni come with you, some of them, and you just hang out in the Bahamas for 3 days. It's like, but you should be in school though. Like, is your class? Is it class last week and this week? Like up to at least today. I think Thanksgiving break for us didn't start till Wednesday in college.
They're like, we're just leaving early. We're getting out of here early.
It's just too damn much. So I covered AEW Full Gear.
How you like it?
It was my second year in a row going.
Okay.
Shout out to AEW, better seats. Seats were a lot better this year. It's funny because I haven't watched AEW weekly for a while because I usually do Bruce's podcast on Wednesdays, help produce that, and then I kind of forget about the rest of the show because I'm like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. The storylines just seem to be clicking better, and I think Tony Khan said it after the at the post-match media scrum where he said same time last year in Prudential, the word he used was embattled, and he said he just feels better about everything this year. Because last year, I think they had just showed the Punk tape with Jungle Boy, and that was still happening.
Yeah, listen to that interview with Owani.
So I feel like AEW is in a better spot because I feel like Tony Khan's kind of figured out like, all right, I gotta be a better boss. I'm kind of a punk ass right now. I gotta get it together.
I never thought I'd see the day where AEW's storylines make a lot more sense than WWE. Because when Seth went out, they just buried Braun Breaker. They just buried the vision. Like I feel like the Survivor Series coming up, it's nothing about them. It's all about it's all about Roman and the implosion of that team and Brock coming in, and it's just a mess. So
Brock coming in and falling down.
I love how he handled it. Such a pro.
No, because I watch AEW, and I'm just like I said, I've been watching weekly, but Toni Storm is still feuding with, her and Mina Shirakawa are feuding with Megan Banon, but that's been going on for months. So that's long term.
Mm-hmm.
The Hangman Samoa Joe shit's been months, and now you got Swerve who feud with Samoa Joe. He used to feud with Hangman, so that's all kind of full circle. And then Ricochet won a belt, which I still don't know what the hell they have another belt for. Beside the point, but Ricochet's entertaining as shit now.
Like, his personality. Who knew? Who knew he had personality?
Like, when did that happen? And then the Hurt Syndicate still kind of feuding with him. And that's been going on for a couple months. So I feel like all these storylines are all going on. I think some of them are kind of like, all right, let's kill it. But it seems like he has this long-term idea that he never used to do. I think he did the Hangman Omega thing was like a year and a half. But normally it's kind of like running through matches. This time he's like, okay, let's simmer. Let's get that heat and let's build to it. And it just seemed like he kind of figured it out. When Triple H just ran through all his good ideas in the first 6 months of him taking over, and I was like, all right, let's call it Brock and get him out and get Roman and let's go to old guys' belts and let's just ride like that.
Listen, I until I'm on snooze control until they give me Gunther and Brock, then I'm gonna be like, that'll be an intriguing match to watch.
Who is Cena's final opponent?
It's got to be Gunther.
You think so?
It's got to be Gunther. That's him. That's him officially passing the torch.
I hope so, but I feel like it's gonna be something. I don't trust Triple H anymore.
Is it? Well, if it's solo, that'll be a mistake.
Yeah, I just don't trust him in his booking anymore. I feel like he thinks he's smarter than everybody else, but when you kind of dig through the layers, it's like, you suck at this. Like, you're not good.
You know what the problem is?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to go back to Vince, and nobody wants that.
Hey, Bruce, Cena is forgettable. We can't see him. No, I'm just like I said, I don't watch Raw all the time because I just can't do Netflix. SmackDown's been boring for months, and I'm like, I can't do SmackDown either. But then try to hype War Games up. Great, you brought Brock back, you brought Roman back. You forgot about Braun, 2 Brauns. You forgot about all of them. Cody's just stale. I think Cody needs to turn heel or do something. He got to spruce his character up.
Cody is right in his prime.
Drew McIntyre was cool last year, but I feel like I think he needed to win a title to like solidify who he is. They keep kind of pulling the rug from him. I feel like it's just like, what's the direction? And then your mid card is just all jumbled up. People just winning belts. Julia, I don't know what the hell they did with Julia. I know they're trying to, like, I think you said trying to reset her, and but I feel like their mid card on both the men and women's side make no sense.
You know what it really is about, right?
What?
We're gonna have a shitty 2026, so 2027 in Saudi for the Saudi Mania is so overbooked and overblown. You know that's what we're leading into. That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
They will bury Hogan. They will open up Hogan's casket and roll him out there for Saudi.
Can we is Bray Wyatt available? No. He is not available. Jason, as always, good show, bro.
Likewise.
It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody watching, whether it be live right now, whether it be on our replay. Thank you so much for watching. Give us your time on this week. We'll be back next week. There were no shows this week. Bruce is traveling. He's gone. We ain't going to do it Thursday. We're here tonight for this reason. Yep. Bruce will be back next Wednesday. We will be back next Thursday, bearing more pain from my neck that just randomly fucking happened yesterday. Like, I don't know what the hell happened with my neck. Listen, thanks so much for everyone watching, supporting us. We appreciate it. And more big things to come. So for Jason, I'm Kahlil. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Peace.
Peace.
This has been The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Cordner. Subscribe now for the best tri-state area basketball talk.